Reproduction in earthworm. Earthworm belongs to class segmented worms. We may need these names to give example. This class is very big and includes around 9,000 types, and the most common one is earthworm. Freshwater worms with a few pili, axilia, but the sea worms represent most of the individuals in this class. Earthworm reproduce sexually and it's hermaphroditic. Hermaphroditic means the one unique organism has male and female reproductive organs. The male reproductive system consists of the following. So we need the name of part in male reproductive system and especially their location. So we said it's segmented worm is earthworm, and we need the number between 9 to 15, in which segment which part of reproductive system is located for male and female. For male, a pair of small testes which are positioned in each body segment, number 10 and 11. But we cannot see because this yellow colored parts, it's seminal vesicle, which like a big bag structure contain the testes. Two testes, they are located in segment 10 and 11, but because they positioned in seminal vesicle, which is shown by this yellow colored bag-like structure, after the testes produce the sperm cells, they release them into seminal vesicle to store them until copulation time. A pair of sperm funnels, each one is represented by a funnel structure situated near the testis. So if the testis, closer to testis, a funnel which is to receive the sperms and transported to vas deferens. Funnel shape, we remember, it look like that one has a wide mouth to receive the male reproductive cell from the seminal vesicle and transport them back into the vas deferens. A pair of vas deferens extend into the segment 15. From which segment? From the segment which sperms are released from the testis into the seminal vesicle. So the vas deferens extend into segment 15, and each one of them is opened into separate hole on abdominal surface for the body segments. The segment number 15 is important because both male reproductive cells on right and left are released out of body through this segment number 15. The testis, sperm funnels, and the vas deferens of each side get covered by 3 seminal vesicles on each side. The total is 3 pairs of seminal vesicles for each side. We said the function of seminal vesicles store the male reproductive cell after they release it from the testis until copulation time. The immature sperm transfer from testis to get mature inside the seminal vesicle, then passes into the sperm funnel, then down to the vas deferens, finally into the male genital opening with the body segment number 15, and comes out during the intercourse. Female reproductive system consists of the following parts: a pair of small ovaries, so one pair only, which are situated in the body segment number 13. A pair of fimbria funnels. Fimbria funnel may have cilia, which are situated near the ovaries within the same body segment and extend to the next segment. As we studied, the ovary and oviduct are connected to one another in planaria, but they are separated in earthworm. So egg which released out from the ovary are received by the funnel of oviduct. A pair of oviduct which extend to the segment number 14, and they open separated through the female genital opening on the abdominal surface for the body segment 14. So means the female reproductive cells are released from the body, out of body, through the segment number 14, while the male reproductive cell was released through the segment 15. A pair of spermatica or seminal receptacle, a new structure which not present in planaria, It's part of female reproductive system and store the sperms again like seminal vesicle, but the sperms or reproductive cells which receive it from the conjugated animal during copulation. So two pairs located in segment number 9 and 10, two pairs. So the receptacle which located in segment 9, they open out of body through the furrow between 9 and 10, which are intent between 9 and 11 with 4 opening. This part of body or reproductive system for female which receive the male reproductive cell from the conjugated animal. Intercourse in earthworm. Intercourse in earthworm usually happens during the night, especially in moist, hot climate in seasons spring and summer. During the intercourse, each one of the animals extend the front side from the hole which they are located in. So the abdominal surfaces of two are facing to each other. Why? Because the abdominal surfaces contains the opening to release out the male and female reproductive cells. So the saddle area, musculitellum, for each worm will be opposite in spermatheca opening of the other worm. The saddle area is a glandular tissue which secretes the mucosal substance during the copulation between two earthworms. The two worms attach to each other by mucus, which is secreted by the saddle area, and the body of each worm will cover it by mucous layer from the segment 8 to point before the saddle. So if we draw two worms, head, side, the next worm in this shape, the abdominal surface connected to one another, the saddle area generally positioned after the reproductive organs. So saddle area in first worm and saddle area in the next worm. So the saddle area produces a mucosal substance during the copulation time, and two worms are completely connected to one another during copulation, separated from external environment. We simply draw the segment of worms from segment 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Similarly, segment 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, and 15. And segment 15. Also 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and segment 15. The two worms, we said they secrete a mucosal substance from the segment 8 to the point before the saddle area, means until the saddle area. The two worms exchange the sperms which are released from the vas deferens opening that's closer on the abdominal fossa for the body segment number 15. So we know segment male reproductive cell released out of body through the segment 15, but spermatheca which receives sperm in segment 9 and also segment 10. Also, these worms release the male reproductive cell from segment 15 to be stored in segment 9 and segment 10. After exchange takes place between the two conjugated worms, they separate one from another. The saddle area in each worm, then each of worms separated, like we draw one, for example, one of these worms. Again, we draw simply the body segments, segment 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Then it followed by, again, the saddle areas secrete mucosal substance to form a membrane for each of these worms. So when the membrane formation completed, the worm move backward. As worm move backward, further segment 15 comes out in segment 15 there is no male or female reproductive cells. Then the segment 14 is contain the openings of oviduct, which female reproductive cells are released. So from segment 15, egg cells released into this sac-like structure which produced by membrane, secreted by the saddle area. Eggs released into this sac or bag. Then the segment 13, there is no opening. Segment 12 and 11. Between 10 and 11, 9 and 10, there are openings of seminal receptacle which store the sperms that receive it from the conjugated animal. And from these two openings, they release out the sperms also into the sac. So male reproductive cells and female reproductive cell union, it forms the zygote. So then the worm completely separate from the membrane. At the end, a sac-like structure in that format contain zygotes. So the cocoon, this bag-like structure which contains male reproductive, female reproductive cells, and then the zygote, then the embryo, we call it the cocoon. So the saddle area in each worm start extracting mucosal substance, form a mucous tube. We call it what? Cocoon. So the cocoon is a bag-like structure which formed from the mucosal substance made by saddle area in each worm. After fertilization, the cocoon gives off in moist soil when the worm completely separate. Inside the cocoon formation, new individuals start without passing through the caterpillar stage. Means what? The new formed worms, they look like their parents, not like butterfly having caterpillar stage. After 2 or 3 weeks, the cocoons split and new worms similar to adults comes out. So the question about the reproduction of earthworm, the drawing has not included but mainly ask about the male reproductive system, the female reproductive system, and so separately can ask about location of any of this reproductive parts in male and female, but also the intercourse or the fertilization mechanism on earthworm is a kind of question for exams.